got some broken dreams, how to bounce back from that. Oh my goodness. Yeah, why am I talking about broken, my heart and all of that stuff? Baby, I'm just doing what the algorithm wants. Everybody, Sharon RN2 CEO. Recognizing you need to nurture yourself and your business. When you come in, give a thumbs up, tap it up. If it's your first time, I welcome you. Listen a little bit and then you decide, hey, do I like this? Yeah, we're going to talk about it, right? Broken dreams, broken promises. Sometimes too, a lot of people have had, it's either their ego or something crushed, something inside of you crushed. And we'll say, those were my dreams. And they're broken. They did not manifest themselves. And should you give up? Should one give up if the thing that you desire, the thing that you want did not work out the way that you hope it would? Should you give up? And so when we talk about broken dreams and we talk about broken promises, it's good to go back to the drawing board. It's good to reevaluate the situation. For example, you had a dream of probably having a business or having a career. Like right now, the career that a lot of people dreamed of, the career that they wanted, things have changed. And so those broken dreams can add to some of the frustration and some of the sadness that comes with it. So broken dreams, or can you come back from it? How is it possible? How is it possible for a life that you wanted, a career that you dreamt about, you went to school for, took out those student loans, spent so much time doing all of that, only to find out that it's not adding up to the way it should be? And so those broken dreams, sometimes they could just shatter your self-confidence. And at times, there's a possibility that people may not even try to rebuild those dreams. Good morning, Casey. Thank you for coming in. Come in. Good morning. Yes. So the question is, broken dreams, is it possible to rebuild? And here's somebody in the audience saying, yes, it is possible to rebuild. But there are times when you've gone through those situations, good morning, and you want to, you have to look at the people who surround you. So one of the things, and I'm not going to, prolong this, but I'm just going to say that if you've had some dreams that seems as if they're shattered, one of the things that could really help you is your environment, right? The people that you surround yourself with. You don't have to wait until the dreams are shattered and that they're broken up. But while you are living, while you are building, relationships are important, because you need that good girlfriend. You need that good friend who's going to say, girl, I know you're going through this, but let's see what we can do. And sometimes you just need that person who can just listen to you. You need that one person who will listen and who will be there for you. Because sometimes when your dreams don't pan out the way that you wanted it to, it really will rock you to the core. It can rock your self-confidence. Casey Inspirational Tale said, it is possible to build back. Absolutely. It may seem as if it's easier to talk about it than it is to do it. But how many of you in the audience, drop a 1, let me know that you've had some dreams, there were some things that you wanted and it didn't work out the way you thought it would. It could have been your money. It could have been your honey, right? It could have been your education. It could have been that career. It could have been that business. Something where it's shattered and you're like, you know what? I thought the world was going to end. And when dreams are shattered and when dreams are broken, you know what also happens? Yes, it will rock your self confidence, but it also brings on shame. Yes, some people, there's some people who experience shame when their broken dreams manifest themselves. Yeah, the broken dreams can manifest, it shows up. And so the shame that comes with it, the the questions that you may ask yourself, your self-confidence, like, oh my God, I knew I had this. Remember when you were in school and you felt as if you're ready for this test, you studied for it, man, I'm gonna ace this thing, I'm gonna do what I need to do, and then the results that you got weren't the results that you expected. And then these broken dreams, it's like you feel shame, devastated, you want to cry, angry, upset, all of those things. So, in other words, yes, we've all been through it, we've all experienced it, but we came back from it. Think of it. You came back from that embarrassment. Either you needed to study more, either you need to know what else was going on. And so you came back from that shattered feeling that you experienced. And if you live long enough, and there are those of us over the years, you're going to have other things. Sometimes relationships. You go into this relationship feeling, baby, this is love. It's going to be forever, forever, ever, ever. We're in love. It's going to be forever. We're going to get married. We're going to have them kids. You know, here in the States, they'll say you have the white picket fence, the dog, the whatever, you know, the retirement fund, all of those things. But then life steps in. Sometimes life may step in right away or over a period of time. There are other things that will happen to shatter those dreams. But many of us, we come back. You have that thing that we call the bounce back factor. Bouncing back and being resilient, it is a muscle that requires building. You will build that muscle. You want that muscle to grow, right? You have to add, as we would say, a little stress to it with the weights and things like that. So you're going to find out your bounce back muscle, it's going to grow from these experiences that you might have had. Yes, those experiences. And so you are learning how to approach challenges. You know, oh, instead of I'm a failure and this and that. Really successful people, and it is so true, they will tell you, they have failed more times than they have won. Thank you guys for coming in. Don't forget to tap the screen. Really appreciate you being here, dropping some gems that is going to change your life. I'm hoping that it will add some value to it, to your day, right? And so that bounce back muscle, it's important. You build that. And you will also learn, one of the things about having these broken dreams or these challenges that come up, it allows you to use your critical thinking. For me as a nurse and as a critical care nurse, it requires me to think at a different level, right? I could have the same training, same education, but then I'm trained at a level as a critical care nurse. There are different things I do differently. There are nurses who are, and I don't work there anymore, but when you work in a trauma unit or a trauma bay, there are certain things that, first of all, they want to make sure that you're certified to be in that space. So because you're thinking quick on your feet, there's certain things that you need to do, machine, equipment, and so forth. And so your critical care thinking skills, it has to be at a different level, and over time, it's developed. Right? You develop that even more over time. And then what happens? You become more valuable. So is it possible for shattered dreams to Do they help you become more valuable in relationships, in business, in life, with money? Many of us made mistakes, right? We get that money, we get happy. We're not really learning how to manage it, and then things happen and we understand that there are responsibilities around those things. But what I'm going to say too, when more things are happening and they're piling on top of each other, they do affect you, your mental state. Because sometimes too, people say it's just too many things happening all at once. And one of the things I want to talk about with Casey said the bounce back is in most times is better than what we had before. Come on now, you better preach up in here, right? She said the bounce back is in most times it's better than what we had before. It is so true. And that's being able to look on the other side of it. Like, this happened. Now I'm going to go and double down, whether it's this test that I need to take, whether it's this interview. There are things I need to brush up on. There are things I need to be mindful of. I did a live and I spoke about a family member that went for a job interview and she didn't get it. And this time, she knew all the questions and everything. What happened? She was nervous. The nerves took over. And there's certain jobs, right? They don't need you being nervous up in there. They need for you to take action like this. You have to think fast on your feet. And that was the thing. How do I show up in that space? Because sometimes too, people don't want to show up as if they're overly confident or you're cocky or whatever. You just know how to read a room. Broken dreams. Let's say you went for that interview. It didn't happen the way you wanted it to. What was missing? And you can come back better. I remember in nursing school, you got something wrong. I always go to the professor. What's the rationale? I needed to take it to the cellular level. And so my critical thinking started to click even more. It started to enhance who I am and the way that I approach a situation. So broken dreams or shattered dreams, yeah, there's a bounce back to it. And yes, you can come back better, because the moment that you speak it over your life, those broken dreams, speak to them. The moment you speak over those dreams, the moment your prayers, your dreams, some people do their prayers, their affirmations, whatever it is that you do, it's the opposite. We are so quick. A lot of people are so quick to say what it is that they don't want. What if you choose what you do want? What if you made a choice to show up powerfully? My goodness, more successful people will tell you they have failed more times than they have won. Michael Jordan, the same thing. There's a famous quote from him, and I don't know it word for word, but he said he's missed how many shots, right? Somebody just think, oh, he's amazing. But just think of how many shots he missed before he could make those, to get that ball in that little ring. When you really look at it, grown men running around chasing a ball, just like football or whatever, bouncing this ball, but they develop certain skills. You have to learn to read the room. So whether it's that interview, learn to read the room. Whether you're on the court, learn to read the room. Whether it's in relationships or you're networking or with people, learn to read the room and the situations that you're in. So guess what? Yeah, Michael Jordan missed a lot of shots. Just think how many hours he practiced before he know exactly what it felt like, right? When you're shooting, it's in the wrist. Yeah, guys, I played basketball in high school. I was on the women's basketball team. Yeah, baby. And it's in the wrist and how you bounce the ball. And also the ball sometimes too, if it's not enough air in it, you know it, you feel it, you even hear it, you can hear it. And you're bouncing that ball. And then it's in, like when you get on your tippy toes, like when you shoot the ball and you go up, and then the wrist, it's in the wrist, and the body mechanics. So there's so many things that comes with that. The body mechanics and all of that. And the hours and hours that Michael Jordan practiced and the shots that he missed, thousands of them before he knew where on the court his best advantage. And so your critical care thinking skills. So so the question may be, do we need to miss some shots? Do we need to have some shattered dreams? Do we need to revisit some of them? Not all of them, but some of them may require being revisited. I'm going to turn on the camera a little bit, guys, so you all can see what's going on. This is a beautiful day. This is a day the Lord hath made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. She said, what's most important is the mindset. If it's not your actions will sway. And this is where the work comes in. The work comes in to, when you have these broken dreams, the work comes in when you're choosing to say, okay, what can I do differently? How can I approach it? Am I willing, ready, and able to embrace and be open to the support that I will need? You know, will I be open to the support I will need? Let's see, guys, if this will make it better. Can you see it a little clearer? Oh, yeah, there you go. Will I be open to the support that I will need to fix these broken dreams, these shattered dreams? So your mindset is huge on this, absolutely. Because in order for you to be resilient and to bounce back, the first thing you are going to need to work on the mindset. Because if you made a decision to say, I'm going to do something a little bit different, and I'm going to find out from other people who have done this thing. That's why people hire coaches. And that's why sometimes it's great to have mentors. But I need to know, what is it? So there's certain systems, there's certain things that you will need to have in place, right? The accountability is huge. What are the systems? How did you manage that? Even a place in a space and you're nervous. All right, what are some things you could learn? Some breathing techniques. Or you could pause before you answer a question. Or you can repeat what the person said to you and then you go. So there are different techniques. So in whatever space that you might have been in and whatever the experience was, there has to be ways that you learn how to cope, or at least to go with flow, right? I don't even think you guys can see the geese. There they are out there. Absolutely, Casey. She said, it is important. You know, that's a skill. That's a skill that needs to be developed over and over and over again, because we could save ourselves. Sometimes we jump to a conclusion. Also, even how you read, it's that, like they're saying, read to comprehend. One has to learn to say, you know what, let me see exactly what they're saying here. And the same thing when you are learning to listen, to use, what do they call it? Constructive listening, and also constructive criticism, all of those things. So can you come back from those broken dreams? My answer is yes. Can you come back better than the way things were before? Absolutely. And it's going to be based upon the decision that you choose to make at that moment. If you notice, I didn't say you have to make a decision. You choose that decision at that moment. You can choose that decision to say, I want more, right? You can choose it to say, I want more. And then how am I going to build from it? How am I going to build from these shattered dreams? And, a lot of times too, I said, our confidence can be rocked from it. We have shame, we have guilt. Some people will have anxiety, and some people will get sad, that it could lead to other things. But we're going to have to make a serious decision. Good morning to you guys. As you can see, I'm out, I'm walking. That's my morning thing to do. It's overcast today. I was told that, they're like, oh, it's not going to rain. And like, you're lying, it is. It looks like it's going to rain. I want to be traveling in a bit, but I wanted to just jump on. Yeah, I wanted to jump on for a bit and chat with you all. And I feel that it's so important that we develop these muscles, the bounce back, and that we make a decision on our, in our lives, what we're choosing to do, and the quality of the life that you want. What's the quality? How do you want to show up? You want to show up in powerful ways, because it is so important. So hopefully what I had to share today is something that someone can use, and that it will add value to your day. Dreams may not always turn out the way that we originally thought about them. And sometimes too, it's because we didn't think of, oh, so what if this happened? Having a support system is great. Having a community. You don't have to have a whole lot of people around you, but you need some good ones. You need the cheerleaders. You need the people who are going to pump their fist for you. And you need those who are going to tell you the truth. You're definitely going to need people who are going to tell you the truth. And you'd have to have some things in place to say, yeah, I am willing. I am willing to learn more. I am willing to listen. I am willing to be held accountable. I'm willing, being willing to be held accountable is saying, all right, I'm willing to listen. You're right, Casey. Being willing to listen. And then to take action. What do you need to do different, at this time to get to your goals, to the things that you want? And one of the things about having things not panning out or working out the way that you originally thought that it should, one of the good things about it, you learn some lessons. They say, but wisdom comes with age or something like that. Not for everybody, right? Not for everyone. But there's some things that you can learn. And two, people are going to have their own experiences. Oh, they're young, they're in love. Oh, we're young, we're in love. We're going to do this. We're going to get married. And baby, like, you need to have a plan. You need to, some people say, go to counseling, start thinking about it. What is it going to look like? What does your credit score look like? What does my credit score look like? What are we planning to do in the next couple of years? Are we looking to have a house? We're looking to have children. Where are we looking to live? I mean, it comes with a lot. It comes a lot, and one has to be in alignment. One, definitely, with the mindset, because, out there I've heard that the most important decision a person can make is the partner that you choose. The most important decision, it's your partner. Because if you're going left and that person is going right, it's a struggle. And who wants to be in struggle mode and a struggle mentality? And then it's good if you have good people who mean you well, because not everybody will mean you well. That's a whole nother thing, because you have to trust them. Not everybody's going to mean you well. So as you see with life, you just don't leave it up like that. You'd have to use the spirit of discernment. The spirit of discernment is so important, and how you're choosing to show up. My God. Oh, this is a good one this morning. I don't know how many people are hearing this, but each and every one of you deserve the very best in life. You deserve the very best. When life happens, when life steps in, when your dreams are shattered, when your dreams aren't turning out the way you think you wanted them to. I've had people who've gone on to school, medical school, law school. They have all of these student loans. They have all of these bills and everything. And they thought that they were going to get things forgiven. And it didn't happen that way. And for some people, it did. But do you give up at that time? Huh? Do you give up because the dream that you had is not adding up? What if you choose to say, you know what, I'm going to get through this. I'm going to live my best life, and I'm going to find ways. And that comes from within. The moment you make that decision to say, I'm going to show up in life a specific way, that decision comes from within you. So you have to make the decision. Are these broken dreams, are they going to be something that I'm going to talk about all the time? That I'm going to be like a broken record? People don't even want to listen to me. People don't want to be around me, right? Casey say, hold on to Jesus. Hold on to something. Hold on into the belief, the power that's within you. And that's what I'm saying. It comes from within. So if I know that God is my source, I have to keep saying it over and pray about it and believe it, that God, this is too heavy. This is too much right now. I just need for you to hold this over her, God. And by doing that, it doesn't feel as heavy. It doesn't feel like I'm trying to do it on my own, because the power that's within you, you need to speak to it. And so with these broken promises and broken dreams and bouncing back from it, I'm going to say, you know what? I remember Jeremiah 29:11. I remember the plans for me, because I need to believe that. If you think that there weren't times in my life I had to go back to that and say, wait a minute. Sharon, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? You over here feeling sad and, oh, things didn't work out this way. Go back to that. Go back to it and say, I know the plans I have for you. Right? The plans are not to harm me. The plan is not to harm you. The plan is not for you to be down and out. If the plan is to prosper me, for me to be prosperous, not just financially, but in mind, body, soul, and spirit. If we break that down just for the heck of it, let's break it down and look at it, and you apply that. Where in your life you need to see the word prosper? In my relationship, in my ways of thinking, in my ways of showing up, right? In my family, my money, every which way. The plan's out there for me. And I speak to it. And I have to walk around like I know it. When you know it. I'm like, I know the plans. I know the plans that he has for me. The right people are going to show up. The right coach, the right mentor, they are going to show up. Because sometimes too, we're so busy talking ourselves out of the things that we truly want. I would have people a set of questions and they are quicker to tell me what they don't want, and everything is written in the negative, when in fact, if you were to flip it to the positive and say what it is you want. Too many people are leading with what they don't want. And if you're one of those, I'm going to say, cut it out for now. Stop it for now. Because I'm going to tell you, you'll stop it for now, then you stop it. It doesn't help you. It doesn't, it doesn't really serve you. Spending time on saying what it is that you don't want. Say what it is you want. Broken dreams, broken promises. Okay, I'm going to take from lemons, I'm going to make some lemonade, right? I'm going to do something with that. I may have to do things one at a time. Maybe there was a step that I missed. Maybe I allowed myself to not be in a place and space of where I know I could be lifted up, because sometimes too, people withdraw. With broken dreams, people will withdraw. They will pull back. And I don't want to get comfortable with failure. I don't want to get comfortable with it, because I don't feel that failure is placed to harm me. The thought is this: failure, it's not there to harm me. It's for me to learn something. It's to build my bounce back muscle, my resilience. And I believe that failure, when they think that, oh, you're going to fail, baby, let me tell you something. I'm even more resourceful. Boom, drop mic on that one. When you think I'm going to fail, oh, you got another thing coming. Because I'm from a lineage. We are from a lineage of so many things that has happened. And baby, we are still here. We're even more resourceful than ever. And you will see that. You will see that in the foods that we eat and how we were able to do things. So sometimes when people think they have to have the finest things in life, but there are those of us who learn things a little bit different, who learn how to make fire outside. Listen, if I don't have electricity and they say, oh, y'all, because I pray it doesn't happen, but my God, there are those of us who know how to go outside, get some wood, take 3 rock stone, get some wood and make fire, right? We can boil water outside, right? If there's not water coming through the pipes, oh, you better believe we used to have drums with the water, boil the water, cook some food. People used to cook on coal stove or get the fire that they need. We're resourceful, right? I don't have an oven to bake anything. I don't have an oven. What do you need an oven for? Bake some potatoes there, right in the fire. So we can talk about it. I could go on and on. Oh, I don't have a car to get where I need to. Maybe there's a bus. There's a train. Okay? We find ways how to do that. Our parents did that. Our parents before us. Our parents, they found ways to make it work. But yet we become so complacent. And then my dream is a mess. It's not going to happen. I can do it all over again. The moment that you decide in your mind that I'm ready for this, the moment that you say to yourself, you know what? I can come back from this. I can come back from it because I know who I am and whose I am. And I know the plans for me, right? It's not to harm me. It's not to make me down and out and depressed. No. And my God, sometimes there are people who need a little bit more support. They may need, mental health. There's support that's needed. And there are ways that you can go, right? And make sure that's done. Or good people around you can see that if they feel you're not at your best, to say, hey, what's going on? Maybe you need a little support here. So all of these things, once again, it's how you're choosing to show up and having amazing people in your life to support you. So those dreams, baby, I'm going to say, those broken dreams, pick up the pieces. And one of those pieces is something beautiful, because from there you've learned something, that I'm resilient, I'm powerful, I am blessed. There's so many things you can learn from that one piece. What if you chose to pick up that broken piece of your life and speak over it? That one thing that you thought that didn't work out in the moment. One thing you said, it did not work out. But right now I am ready for this. And I'm going to speak to it. You're going to, come on now, speak to those dry bones. Speak to those broken pieces and say, this happened. But what I know for sure, the plan for my life is that everything that has been spoken over me and promised to me. And I said, God, you promised this to me. And I thank you in advance. So many times too, when we're praying, we go to God and we bacha God and we abada God every minute. Listen, we already know the plans for my life. So Father God, I thank you in advance. I thank you even from this broken dream, this broken relationship, this broken career, this broken life, this broken situation, that something beautiful came from it. God, I thank you for every lesson learned. And God, I will not keep these lessons for myself. I will tell others about how you brought me through. I will talk to you, tell others about your grace and your mercies. Because all of those things are important. Grace and mercies, they're important. So people who are scrolling by, you want to see a picture, you want to see something, I want you to listen. I want you to know that you can come back from it. I want you to know that the life and the dreams, the things that were promised to you, they are for you. What's promised to you is for you. Your broken dreams can be renewed. Your broken dreams will require Your broken dream will require you picking up a piece of that dream and speaking over it and seeing it for what it is. Your mindset has a lot to do with it. You seeing it for what it is, what it can be like. And so when somebody else is aiming for that dream, when somebody else is looking to go to that direction, in that direction, they too will know what it's like. They too will know that it's a lesson, and it goes on. It goes on and it goes on. My goodness gracious. Guys, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for hanging with me. I was doing this while I was taking my walk. And so it really helps to know that I could share my thoughts with you. Thank you for being here. It's awesome to know that I could share my thoughts with a few people who came into the room. You may want to come back and listen to this, because some folks want a quick fix. But I think if you truly listen to what was shared, it can make a difference in your life. And I thank God, that, be thankful that God will use you in miraculous ways, in amazing ways. He will use you in ways that you least expect it, right? Be thankful and grateful for every experience that you've had. Can you be grateful for every broken dream? Can you be thankful that pieces of those broken dreams are the things that will bring you closer to the things that you not only desire, but to what you deserve? Isn't it amazing that we are able to say, you know what? I'm glad that I had that experience. Tap the screen, guys. I'm glad that I had that experience because from that broken dream is something new, is something beautiful, it's something that will create a legacy, it's something that people will talk about, and that it will change lives, that it will make this planet and it will make this world a better place. All because the dream that I thought that I had didn't work out the way that I wanted to, but because I stumbled, because I fell flat on my face, because I heard no, because dream doors were closed. And from those doors being closed and hearing no and falling flat on our face and being embarrassed and even feeling shame from it, something beautiful happened. They can say, you know, you rise from the ashes into something that's oh so beautiful. My God, what a word this morning. I give God thanks for it. Thanking Him for this word, for somebody who heard it and then they are able to take it in and say that it's not over. Oh no, it's not over. It is just the beginning. It is just the beginning, y'all. Yes, we're going to end this, but I'm telling you, it is just the beginning from these broken dreams and some empty promises. But if you decide that you're going to operate in integrity and then you're a keeper of your word, if you're a woman or man of your word, if you're a person of your word, you have nothing to fear. You have nothing to worry about because you have made a decision, right? You've made a powerful decision to really take care of you because you deserve it. You deserve all the good things in life. You really do. You deserve the things that truly matters. And because you've made a hopefully you guys can hear me. Can you all hear me? I need some water. Oh, let's turn on this camera and see who's here. See what's going on. Oh my goodness. It was a beautiful day. Hi, beautiful people. I was out walking. I got a good walk in. I think I might have done about 4 miles. That's it. How are you all doing? How is it going? What about you and those broken dreams? What happened, y'all? What happened? People are like, oh, we don't need to see you. We don't need to see. I'm just spilling stuff all over the place. My hands are a little bit slippery. Let's see if that works. Guys, thank you all. It was a great walk. It was a great chat with you all. And I really, truly appreciate it. And I'm thankful and I'm grateful. I'm going to come back a little bit later. Yeah, coming back a little bit later. Oh, where am I? Where am I? Where am I? So it was a good talk. You missed it. You may want to come back to the replay. Check it out. I was out walking. We were talking. And the screen wasn't on for the majority of the time. That I really wanted folks to kind of, you know, get a feel. I wanted them to listen. I was more interested in people listening in on what was being said. It was a great one, guys. You definitely want to check it out. We only kept it about, I think, 45 minutes. You want to like, subscribe to the channel, go watch some of the lives. It's great information for you. You will definitely love it. And that's all I can do. You know, right now, that's all I can do is just share what I've learned and how I know that broken dreams and empty promises or broken promises, it's not the end. It's just the beginning. You can come back better. You can come back stronger, more resilient, and more resourceful. Until next time, everybody, Take care now. Until next time. Bye bye.